Redemption. The action of regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. What about redemption in media? One who evolves from a flawed, amoral, or villainous state to morally improved or heroic one. Often through series of actions and self-sacrifice, or acts of kindness that serve as atonement for past mistakes or wrongdoings. Why are we inspired by Zuko from Avatar? Because his story has layers. Starting with wanting to gain approval from his abusive father, he sets out on an adventure to capture the Avatar. But on this journey, he learns significantly more about himself through the guidance of his uncle Iroh. As he gains a stronger grasp of who he is, after being presented with a crucial choice to redeem himself, he decides to betray his uncle, seeing Uncle Iroh go to jail, and he decides to side with his sister to stay within the Fire Nation. After this moment, he truly understands that he wasn't seeking his father's approval. As to him, it was meaningless. He just wanted to do the right thing and be good. Eventually teaming up with the Avatar to take down the fascist Fire Nation, a story of peaks and valleys, we understand that ultimately he is human and just wanted to be a decent person. This week in football, we witnessed the conclusion as one of the greatest redemption arcs in recent history as Ousmane Dembele was able to lift the Ballon d'Or. Ousmane Dembele being awarded the Ballon d'Or is an incredible feat that if you asked people 9 years ago who would win the award, they would believe you. He was lightning in a bottle at Borussia Dortmund, with the sky is the limit. However, if you asked him 3 years ago, in Barcelona, he was a player who lived in the hospital, constantly injured, late to training because he was probably playing FIFA, maybe using his own card. He had 5-star. But ultimately, Barcelona bought in Dembele for 148 million euros in summer 2017 as their replacement for Neymar Jr. Dembele's expectations were higher than the peaks of Everest. He had massive shoes to fill, in which Dembele's time at Barcelona was disappointing, where he played 186 official matches across 6 seasons, missing 141 matches in the time. With many people joking that he lived in the hospital and just couldn't do anything right. Despite this all, he escaped Barcelona in 2023, where he didn't light it up right away at PSG, but taking some time to readjust into Luis Enrique's system in 23-24 season, it wasn't until the 24-25 season where he was able to reintroduce himself to the world. In this 24-25 season, PSG didn't start their Champions League season very well, barely getting a win in their first 5 matches, where Dembele was left out of the squad against Arsenal and sent off against Bayern Munich. It seemed to be another rough spell for the Frenchman. But then something changed. Luis Enrique deployed Ousmane Dembele into this false 9 role, a hybrid striker position where thanks to depthful wingers and talented midfielders, they were incredible. Dembele got his first goal against Manchester City when they were down 2-0, sparking a 4-2 comeback, in a must-win game to get PSG into the round of 16. When it matters most, like your favorite superhero, Ousmane Dembele showed up against Stuttgart, got a hat-trick by minute 54. To speed run the knockout stages, in the first tie, Ousmane Dembele scored twice against Brest, once against Liverpool to advance them on penalties, and with an incredible performance from Donnarumma, they got through, assisting twice against Aston Villa, getting the PSG redemption against Arsenal, scoring once and assisting once, culminating into a 5-0 thrashing where he got 2 assists against Inter Milan. Poetically, a player who was 75 kilometers away from Paris won them their first Champions League, after a series of blockbuster players and oil money wasn't able to. Unlocking consistency, Ousmane Dembele reached the highest peak a player can ever ask. With 53 matches, he scored 35 goals, got 16 assists, and the Ballon d'Or. Ultimately, Ousmane Dembele has had a campaign to remember and is rightfully the Ballon d'Or winner. But onto one redemption story, until a player starting his own, we go to Raphinia from Barcelona. From one redemption arc that just was completed to a redemption arc that is still currently occurring. Imagine putting up Cristiano Ronaldo numbers and being told you're the best player in the world. That's what happened to Raphinia in 2024-2025. 34 goals, 25 assists, tying Cristiano Ronaldo's Champions League goal contribution record. He only finished 5th in the Ballon d'Or. I'm not saying he should have won it. I'm perfectly fine with Ousmane Dembele winning it, but I believe that he was at least the 2nd best player in Europe. Let's rewind to when he first had to overcome this. When he signed for Barcelona in 2022 from Leeds, he wasn't seen as a superstar. He was a gamble. At Leeds he was electric, yes, but mostly seen as just a flashy Premier League winger. with raw talent and really nothing proven yet. But nobody could have predicted him to be one of the most productive players in Europe. At Leeds, he carried the attack, scoring 17 goals across 2 seasons, and keeping them in the Premier League. The work ethic and flair got him to Barcelona. But even then, the critics doubted him so much when he was first at the Camp Nou. And then came the 24-25 season. This wasn't just a breakout year for Raphinia. This is historic. In La Liga alone, he had 18 goals and 9 assists, becoming Barca's most decisive attacker. But the real magic did happen in Europe, where he scored 13 Champions League goals, making him the joint top scorer and helping Barcelona reach the semi-final of the Champions League through sparking comebacks against Benfica. By the end of the season, his 34 goals and 25 assists across all competitions added up to 59 direct goal contributions in 57 games. And here's the kicker. This just tied Cristiano Ronaldo's record for goal contributions in a single Champions League campaign. We're talking about CR7 territory. These numbers are not unheard of, but we haven't seen them in a while. It wasn't just the numbers. He was named La Liga's Player of the Season, and he made the UEFA Team of the Year. He was Barca's MVP by every metric in that aspect. But this wasn't just a one-off season. This was the season of his life, a legacy in the making. And yet, when it comes to the Ballon d'Or, 5th place, behind players with fewer goals, fewer assists, and less impacts than he had. I'm not saying he necessarily deserved it, but 5th is just insane. The Ballon d'Or voters love narrative, and Raphinia just didn't sit on the same brand. But this doesn't, and his career doesn't end here. This just sets him up for what can be one of the greatest comeback stories in the years to come. And hopefully after this injury, he's able to recover and prove the world why he was better than 5th place this past season. From a player whose redemption arc is just starting to a player who just completed one, every mafia has its enforcer. 6'4" Scott Mctominay looks like he should be running back rooms in Napoli's casino, as well as running this midfield like Tony Soprano. From a disrespectful exit at Manchester United to joining the Serie A and winning it in his first year. At Manchester United, Mctominay gave everything for the club. 178 league appearances, 19 goals, countless clutch moments when the club was falling apart. He scored late winners, played through the chaos, and became the team's glue guy in a midfield that was just disorganized. And how did Manchester United repay him? By letting him go. But Naples, that city doesn't just welcome warriors, it crowns them. In his first season, Mctominay played 34 Serie A matches, scored 12 goals and got 4 assists. And across all competitions, he got 13 goals and 5 assists. In April, he went on a scoring tear with 5 league goals in 1 month, including a decisive brace against Torino that gave Napoli the control in the title race. That ended up earning him Serie A Player of the Month. And the accolades don't stop there. He got Serie A Player of the Season, Serie A Team of the Season, and just a love from the Napoli fans. He even broke a 63-year-old record, surpassing Dennis Law for most league goals scored by a Scotsman in the Serie A. Think about that. Rewriting the history books in his first season. He even was able to finish ahead of Jude Bellingham in the 2025 Ballon d'Or. That's crazy stuff. But overall, here's the story from Mctominay, turning disrespect into domination, from unwanted United to MVP in the Serie A. His redemption arc isn't just proving people wrong. It's about building a legacy in a league that worships warriors. The big guy found his family in Naples, and now he's running the show like Tony Soprano. Overall, thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like and please subscribe and share it with your friends if you guys enjoyed it. And that's another iteration of LUTYHD. See you guys. Peace.